Welcome to You Got Mail, email and communication etiquette for the Gen Z sales professional. My name's Alex Garlock, and I'm excited to take you on this journey through professional organizational communication in the sales workforce. With over 2 decades worth of sales experience, management, and organizational communication, I am so excited to show you the ins and outs of how to create great emails, how to talk wonderfully in person, and how to get that sales pitch across the finish line. Buckle up, we're in for a journey. So, you want to become a sales professional, but you don't know where to start. Not a problem. We've created 4 sets of rules that will help you on your track to becoming a professional communicator. Following these 4 steps are as easy as pie, and we know that if you follow through with these, you'll be more than on your way to becoming a professional communicator. So, what are the rules? First, communicate the right way. Know what channels you need to communicate through. Second, be clear and concise. Make sure that your message isn't muddled. Third, listen and stay open-minded. Practice active listening. What's the question behind the question? And fourth and finally, cross the aisle. What's the golden rule? Treat others how they want to be treated. Just like you treat everyone in your organization like they're your customer. Following these 4 simple steps are easy as pie, and we guarantee that if you follow through, you'll be more than on your way to becoming a professional communicator. All right, so the first step, communicate the right way. We want to make sure that you know which channel is the best channel to get your message across. Sometimes we have meetings that should be emails, or we call a client, they seem annoyed, and we could have scheduled something in person to clear things up. With this step, we want to make sure you know which channel of communication is the correct one for the correct time. The next step is be clear and concise. Now that you know which channels you should be using to get your message across, make sure that your message isn't muddled. First, let's look at the email. Don't use emojis, use the correct punctuation. I know we all love emojis. It's fun to text those to our friends and even send memes or GIFs to our coworkers in Teams chat. But emojis are non-universal and provide double meanings. When I put something in as an emoji like a smiley face, what I may interpret it as meaning is not what another person couldn't have. So make sure that you are using precise punctuation and removing all emojis from your emails. And remember, not all punctuation should be read for tone. One of my favorite examples is you can use a period. It doesn't mean you're upset. Closing sentences allows you to have a professional voice and clears your message up. And second, think about your message. Make sure you read your email before you send it. Make sure you know why you are sending that Teams chat before you send it over to your coworker. Understand the message behind your message and think about who, why, what, where, and how you are sending it. Finally, tag the right people in. Know the reply versus reply all button. A reply is when you want to message someone individually. A reply all is when you're on a message chain that requires everyone to be in it. Let's say you're having some sensitive information and you need to reply all, but you want to remove a message from a coworker. Open up that email, remove everything that doesn't need to be shared, and resend it. It's important to understand the message, reread it, and analyze it before you send. Finally, follow up and follow through. Complete the job. Once the email is complete, let people know. If someone's giving you a task, it's awesome to reach out and say, hey, this is complete. Let me know if you have any other questions. It allows people to remember you. You'll be viewed as the person who's accountable and who they're not afraid to send an email to because they'll know they'll get a response. Next, listen and have an open mind. First, what's the question behind the question? Think about the communication from all sides. Is there a reason why the question is being asked? What is the meaning behind their question? Why are they asking it? Second, what are your nonverbals showing? Are you in person or are you online? Do you have a scowl on your face? Are your arms crossed? Or are you active listening? What's active listening? That's when the person knows that we're keyed into the message that they're speaking. Nods, yes, affirmations, understanding. Make sure you're cued in and your nonverbals match up. And finally, mind the generational gap. Would you say that to your grandma? Is your grandma going to understand the message that you're saying? It goes back to emojis and in memes and GIFs. Are we speaking to the right person? And will they understand that message? And finally, cross the aisle, stepping to their sides. What's the golden rule? Treat people how you want to be treated. But I challenge you to try something different. Treat people how they want to be treated. You've already done the work in the previous step. You've looked at the question behind the question. You've found the motive for it, and you've been clear and concise in your messaging. Does the person respond better when you're using emails? Does the person look like they're more engaged when it's in person or at a meeting? Know how they want to be treated and treat them accordingly. Second, everyone's your customer. You are doing a job for another person on your team, so treat them accordingly. Think about how you want to be treated in return and treat that person accordingly like before. Is that person dependent on you or to do their job? Then they're your customer. It goes for everyone. Help out with accounting if you can. Help out with marketing. You're always in this together, which finally brings us to together everyone achieves more. Let's spell that out into an acronym. TEAM, team, together, everyone achieves more. How does your job connect to theirs? Think about it as a team. Are you the point guard passing to a shooting guard? Is the shooting guard your marketing team as you're passing off information? Or is it the data analytics team helping you to secure a deal? Think about how your ability to perform your job connects to everyone in your team and treat them accordingly. All right, now that we've looked over a couple of different rules, let's take a couple of examples and see what we could have done better. First, let's look at the subject line. Customer follow-up 2025. It's very generic and doesn't explain why this person is really following up in this email. Second, right off the bat, we can see some emojis that are muddling the message. They aren't necessary, and they give off a certain personality that might not please the customer. Next, let's look at the message. In it, it seems like the person is both following up after a sales call from over a year ago, while also trying to solve a problem. The message is muddy. Pick one, follow up with it, and find the most important thing. Obviously, the most important thing right now is solving this customer's issue. They should focus on that. And if it seems to be more professional, maybe jumping in and offering a phone call to help personalize the information, ask questions, and solve issues would be more pertinent than sending up this email. Finally, let's look at all the information. El Capitan, Sales Guru, a broken link, the punctuation, the editing, the spelling. It could have used a read-through. Make sure that before you send an email, you've seen everything. Are you capitalizing letters that shouldn't be capitalized? Are you misspelling words that could be easily solved with just a quick read-through? Read the message entirely. Find your message and make sure it isn't muddled. All right, let's take a look at something that might be a little bit better. This person has seemed to read through everything, compiled all of their information, and followed the previous steps. They've reached out, placed a phone call before the email. They've allowed for the person to have a record of all of their information. They've copied in the correct people, and they've read through their message to make sure there are no spelling errors. All in all, this is an appropriate way to email a customer and reach out. It doesn't have to be like this, though. Use your imagination and find the best method for you. We've looked at some great examples of how to use the correct communication. And if you want to find out more about how to be a professional communicator, check out some of these resources that will help you learn what is the correct way to communicate for your customers, and how to be a professional and organizational salesperson.